Welcome to the Reese Report. I am the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for Week 6 picks. I am, as always, joined by Gilbert Ironman Santos and Jose Josega Gomes, who leads the pool by 2 games, I believe now, over Gil Santos. I'm way back right now. I'm going to take my chances. I thought I made some good dog picks last week. They just didn't come in. We had like 13 missed extra points and a bunch of missed field goals last week. So good luck to you if you bet the NFL last week, because outside of Buffalo, I can't think of another team that came in that was supposed to come in. So, I mean, we had Houston up on New England, a massive comeback. We had Indy up on Baltimore, massive comeback. There's just crazy football. The NFL is insane. What can I tell you? But we're back and we're going to keep going. You never know. Jose really hasn't had a bad week yet. Neither has Gil. I've kind of been around 500 the whole year, so I'm confident this week. Though I think I'm going to do good this week. So we'll see. How you guys doing today? You guys all right?
Yeah, I'm great.
Just another day in paradise.
Yeah, we'll go through some of the games last week as we make our picks. I got a lot to say about what happened this week because I pretty much watched every game. But we'll start with our picks, and we'll go to the Thursday nighter. Tom Brady, the GOAT, who now has 15 touchdowns and 2 picks and leads the NFL in yards for a 44-year-old, not bad. They go to Philadelphia to take on Gil's pick in the NFC East, which is not going to happen. Gil, who do you got in this one?
I got Tampa Bay. I was itching for Philadelphia. They played well last week. Don't think Tampa Bay is gonna blow them out. Don't give me this Tom Brady gonna go there and beat the shit out of them, because they're not. Philly's gonna keep it. I was actually itching to pick Philly, but I think Tampa might just have a little bit too much offensive power. They probably win by a field goal, by 4, something like that.
Jose.
I agree with Gil. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think the Philly will cover the spread, but I think Brady will somehow get away to win that game.
I think Tampa Bay wins by 8. They're going to outscore Philadelphia in this one. I liked what I saw from Tampa Bay last week, although they played the Dolphins. The defense was a little bit better, but this is the Tom Brady show right now. So he outscores Jalen Hurts. To London, just so you guys know, I neglected to put in the Jets-Atlanta game last week in our picks. Gil took the Falcons and was correct on them landing on the plane and taking the plane out. And me and Jose were wrong on the Jets taking out the Falcons. That's what happened there, okay? So we blew up. So that was added to our totals for the week. So we go to London for another game. Don't ask me why they have games in London. Makes no sense to me. But Miami, with the possibility of Tua coming back, goes to Jacksonville to play the 0-5 Jaguars. Hopefully, Urban Meyer stays away from the establishments in London. Jose, who do you got?
I like Miami in this one. I think Miami has been playing a little bit better lately, and if Tua comes back, it's going to be a good upgrade on their offense. I still think Jacksonville Jaguars are a team in shambles. Like, their coaches, I think he's dying to get fired and leave and go back to college football. And so I like Miami in this one.
Yo.
I agree with Jose, but I'm gonna go Jacksonville on this one. I think they're the most popular team in London. But I'm gonna go Jacksonville. I just have this feeling they're out there, they're out of their elements, no pressure. I think they're gonna go loose, and I think Lawrence will buckle a win on this one.
Same here. I agree with Gil. Gut feeling, Jacksonville gets this one. Just a gut feeling. No confidence at all. Just a gut feeling. Jacksonville wins this one. To now the Sunday afternoon games, and we'll start with Gil's game of the week. What they call a rivalry, which to me is not, because a rivalry is supposed to be when both teams win. But in this series, only one team wins, and Gil knows what I'm talking about. As the Cheeseheads, the luckiest team in the NFL with the 5 missed field goals last week, still beat Cincinnati. goes to Chicago to take on the revitalized Chicago Bears with my boy Justin Fields, who everyone wanted to throw under the bus, now has 2 straight wins, looks great. Gil, I'm not even going to ask you. If I ask Jose first, I'm not going to ask you. Jose, who do you got?
I like got a win, and Mason Crosby too. I'll kick a winning field goal in this.
You
one.
like Green Bay? Okay.
Yeah.
And Gil, do I even need to ask you?
Well, Jose just took Green Bay because he's been looking in the back 2 weeks, and that's been screwing up his record. There was Green Bay.
Yeah.
Not really, but if you say so. Last week, you guys got lucky to get out of Cincinnati with that W, buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy, last week, a lot of teams got lucky. As I see, Minnesota should have lost to Detroit. Indy should have bet Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like we seen a lot of stuff last
Houston
week.
should have beat New England.
Houston should have been. It was like horrible.
Yeah.
So let's not just say it was one team's luck last week.
Absolutely not. I'm just saying, like, but
there's a handful of teams.
Yes.
The game against Green Bay and the Cincinnati, those kickers must have been Jesus Christ, Crosby. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, one's
Gil
old.
was nervous.
Well, Crosby's old, and what is it, McFern or McPheen, whatever his name is. He's a rookie, so it was a rookie versus a veteran.
All I know is I want to call blanket ship battleship after the guy missed like 75 field goals and got one blocked. But anyway, go ahead.
He was injured, man.
Well, I'm still waiting for that team to take down the Packers, and it's not gonna be Chicago. Green Bay, Rodgers usually has a field day on them. Chicago has good defense. But I see Green Bay kicking out winning field goal too, Jose. I see that happening too.
Okay, I have a bad record for a reason, guys. But I'm taking the Bears, and I'm taking the Bears because I really love what I've seen from Justin Fields, and the defense seems to really play better with him on the field. They gave him the job, even though they said it was going to go back to Dalton. He looks much more comfortable, much better. The offensive line is protecting him better, and our boy Mac over there, Rodgers better watch out, because without Bakhtiari, Mac's going to be all over him. So I think we're going to see a sack of Rodgers, and maybe he's going to start limping around like last time, and we're going to see an interception, and the Bears win by 4. That's what I'm going to say.
I think you're going to see his long bombs, and you're going to scratch your head. That's what I think we're going to see.
Okay. All right. We'll see. I think the Green Bay's been very lucky to have the record they have. I think the Bears take them out. And then we have a race in the north, which will be good. To the Ugly Bowl, the Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, who should have beat the Packers last week, go to Detroit to play the Lions, who found another way to lose a game. First, it's a 66-yard field goal. Then leave 30 seconds left, and Kirk Cousins somehow leads his team to get a victory over them in the last second. God. Gil, who do you have in this Ugly Bowl?
I took Detroit last week for the upset. It came very short. I have that hunch on them. This time they're at home. I'm going to take Detroit. I think the record's not what they are. They should at least maybe 2 wins under their belt. At least 1 already should have happened. And they got to get out of that win. I just think Detroit's game plan to stop Cincy would be what the Packers actually didn't do last week, was just stop Chase. You just got to stop Chase, and you stop that Bengal offense.
Jose?
I'm with you on this one, because depending on how Burrow is doing from that throat injury that he got. So, but I like Cincy in this one. I think Cincy have a better team all around, and if Burrow's healthy, then they should win this game easily, I think.
I'm going to take Cincinnati. From what I have heard, Joe Burrow is fine. He's ready to go. I checked out his throat issue, and he looks to be fine. So
I thought you said you checked out his throat.
I checked on his throat, and his throat is fine, so he will be playing, which means Detroit finds another way to lose. That field goal kicker better not miss the field goal at the end, or they're going to fire his ass. I say he rebounds, and they find a way, because Detroit just finds ways to lose. I'm not going to take this team until they win a game. So I'm going to take Cincinnati. Now we go to the Houston Texans. David Mills, is that his name? He made Bill Belichick's defense look like garbage. He made Tom Brady look average with that performance. But once again, bad teams find ways to lose games, and they still lost. So they go to Indianapolis to play Carson Wentz, who had his best game and still lost because they're another team that finds a way to lose. Do we have a clean sweep here, guys?
I like Indy.
Yo,
Yeah, I like Indy. I think that running game, they're gonna run all Jonathan Taylor there. Looks good. Wentz looks a little bit better. I know I said I was gonna take Indy because they look like they're disorganized. They looked a little more organized. They found a way to lose, but I'm gonna take Indy.
I got
They
Indy.
didn't find the way to lose. They just Lamar Jackson started throwing the ball like bombs
No,
all over the field.
Look, I don't care what Jackson did. Indy blew that game. The blanket chip, they knew he was hurt. He got one kick blocked. They sent the punter in there after an offside to kick one. And then he missed two other ones after that. And he missed an extra point. Indy blew that game. Baltimore didn't win it because the other guy threw for 400 yards. So
Jose, you're right. Like Lamar Jackson ate that team up. But when you go to the fourth quarter at a 25-3 lead, I mean, was it 20? Yeah,
it was 22-3 at the end of the third quarter.
Something like that. You can letting down 2 touchdowns, but I don't know.
Missed extra point, blocked field goal, and 2 more missed field goals. That's why they won the game. But
and then they also allow 2-point conversions 2 times. Like you got to stop at least one, and you win the game, right?
Indy choked that game away. But good on Lamar to keep coming back. But we'll get to Baltimore and how lucky they are this season because they're skating on thin ice. But before we get to that, let's go to the LA Rams, who quietly have had a good season outside of getting destroyed by Kyler Murray. They go to the Giants to take on the Z-Men minus, I think, their entire team. So do we have another clean sweep here?
Yeah, I like LA.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants don't have a quarterback. They don't have a running back. I'm not sure what they have left on the G-Men, which is why I call them the Z-Men. So I got the Rams. To a team that is struggling mightily because they have the worst defense I've ever seen in my life, which is why me and Jose took Buffalo as our pick of the week last week. The Kansas City Chiefs go to play the Washington football team, who I wonder what emails they have about, Chiefs and Redskins and Indians and what else. I mean, it cost John Gruden his job, but nobody else seems to be coming out with what they said. But that's an interesting story for another day. So Kansas City at Washington. Jose, who do you got in this one?
I like KC to rebound in this game, and I think they'll score Washington in this. There's both horrible defenses. Washington was supposed to be a good defensive team, but they've been playing like shit, their defense all year. So I like KC in this one to put up more points.
Yep.
I like KC as well, but I'll tell you one thing. If KC does not win this game, they might as well throw in the towel. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. High scoring game. I expect a very high scoring game, but Mahomes outscores Heineke. This could be like 40-30, the way these two defenses play. The over's a lock if you guys like over-unders. The over's a lock. To Carolina, they're playing the Vikings at home. The Vikings were very lucky last week. Kirk Cousins, Gil, I'll let Gil talk about this guy, but he's a disaster quarterback that somehow got guaranteed money from the Vikings for 4 years. And he's a very lucky man because their team should be 0-5, but they got 2 wins at the end of games. They probably should have beat Arizona, but other than that, they've been this team is just terribly underachieving. They are 2-0 without Dalvin Cook, though, which is, a misnomer, I guess. They go to Carolina to play the recently exposed Sam Darnold, who without Christian McCaffrey can't win a game. So he's back to Jets Sam Darnold. I'm done with his stupid ass too. But Gil, who do you got in this one?
I got Carolina. I still like Carolina to I don't know. I just watched Minnesota last week. I'm watching Kirk Cousins knock out the coach and tell him you like that. They beat the Lions. They look like it's almost like they won the division, or like I don't know what was going on. But what a terrible celebration that is. Because if you're celebrating like that on beating the Lions, I don't know, like something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like Carolina. They're at home. I think Carolina edges. They're not both great right now, but I'll give Carolina the edge of the home.
Jose?
I like Minnesota in this one. I think they've been playing good offensively. They have their Spurs
They
and
have?
stuff like that. They have a team
They
that
got
puts up
7
30,
points against the Browns and 14 against the Lions. What do you mean their offense has been playing good?
what, and didn't put up 30 something points against Arizona.
That's the only game they played good offensively
Okay,
the whole
so what?
season.
And but their defense is keeping them in the games, isn't it?
The defense is playing well. The
Okay,
offense is terrible.
Okay, and any given Sunday, the defense can put up points. They have good wide receivers. They have a good running back. I like Minnesota in this one. I just think Sam Darnold,
All right.
without Christian McCaffrey, is a different quarterback, and I don't think he's. I think Chuba Hubbard is not the same thing as Christian McCaffrey, so I like Minnesota in this one.
Low scoring game, guys. Expect a low scoring game. I'm taking Carolina because of their defense. And I believe Sam Darnold, I like Sam Darnold just slightly better than Kirk Cousins. That's the only reason. Dalvin Cook, his status is up in the air, and they can't score any points without this guy. They've just been lucky to win because of their defense. I got Carolina in the battle of quarterbacks without running backs. To the game of the week, or one of the games of the week, the LA Chargers with Justin Herbert, who very well could have a case for MVP right now. He's been that good. He goes to Baltimore to take on the very lucky Baltimore Ravens, who have won 2 games they shouldn't have won. Probably 3 if you count the Kansas City game where they made the epic comeback. They got a great field goal kicker, and Lamar Jackson has been great against the cover 2 when they're down points and they allow him to throw the football. I'm going to start this one off and tell you the Chargers are the better team. They have the better defense, and they have the better quarterback. I'm taking the Chargers to win outright in Baltimore. Jose?
I like the Chargers as well to win this game too, but it's going to be a high-scoring game, and it's going to be a close one, and I think LA squeaks this one out against the Ravens.
Gil?
I agree with Jose, but I think it happens the other way around. I just think Baltimore at home is going to squeeze another win. I'm going to go with Baltimore.
Tough game, but I just believe Baltimore has been a very lucky team. Then again, games are close. The field goal kickers decide a lot of games. We saw that this week like you would not believe with 13 missed extra points.
Well, what I like about Baltimore's comeback is if they were using Lamar's legs, he was using his arm to Marquise Brown all day.
Yeah.
So they weren't scared throwing the long bomb.
Yeah.
So if they're down with the Chargers, I don't see them. I see Baltimore like throwing down the field, which we didn't see before.
If the Chargers get down like they did to Indy to the Chargers, there's no way that defense is letting Baltimore come back. He did this against Indy's defense, against Kansas City's defense. It's a different story when you got to play the Chargers defense. I don't see a comeback. Although if you look at that game last week against Cleveland, there was no defense played at all. So, that's the NFL. To another good game, we go to Arizona, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, another team that I thought was lucky last week. I thought San Fran had a real legit chance to win, but couldn't get good enough quarterback play from Trey Lance, and they ended up losing 17-7. They go to play the Cleveland Browns, who have a quarterback they don't trust, a quarterback they don't want to pay, and a quarterback that doesn't know how to hold leads, which has me concerned about my Super Bowl pick. Gil, who do you got in this one?
It was tough to pick, but I'm going to go with your Super Bowl pick. I think Cleveland is going to win this game. I think Arizona's downfall is this week. They beat the 49ers, not very convincingly.
No.
I think Murray is getting a little cocky. I think this game, Cleveland is going to catch them off guard. Nick Chubb is going to run on them. And I think they're going to pull it off.
Jose?
I like Cleveland in this one too. I think they're going to give them their first loss of the season. I just think the running game is superior, and they're going to run the ball all day on that defensive team. And like last week, they put up a lot of 40-something points against the Chargers. I think they can do the same thing against that Arizona Cardinals defense. And I see Garrett putting a lot of pressure on Murray this week, and I guess I like Cleveland in this one.
High-scoring game. Murray's already destroyed one defense in LA, the Rams. I got Cleveland in this one because they're my Super Bowl pick, because they need to win this game, because Baltimore will run away on them if they don't smarten up. I just think this is a big game for Baker. This is a big game for the Browns, and Baker Mayfield has got to start using OBJ. I know Jose's favorite player is OBJ, but he's been absolutely invisible since coming back. And it's partly because Baker's not targeting him enough.
Exactly. He throws him like 2 balls a game.
So he needs to start using this guy, or finding him, or throwing the deep ball, because their offense, even though they scored a lot of points last week, gets predictable as the game goes on. So that's why you see blown leads by the Browns. So start using OBJ to stretch the field a little bit more. I got Cleveland winning a very close, high-scoring game by a point. To a team that's frustrated me all the year and will continue to frustrate me, because I'm going to take them again. But we got the Las Vegas Raiders, who just fired their coach. John Gruden is out after some offensive emails came out about all kinds of different things that I don't have to mention. You all heard about it. They go to Denver to play the Broncos, who have a great defense but can't score. This is a big rival game. These two teams do not like each other. I think when you fire your coach and you're in this much of disarray, I think you're going to lose the first game out. So I'm going to take Denver to ride their defense to a victory in this one. Gil, what do you got in this one?
Same thing. I just feel the coach is gone. I think they still have to find themselves. I think their first game with their intern coach might be a little difficult because he'll come in with a different philosophy. So the team's going to have to adjust his philosophy. So I'm going to take Denver as well.
Jose.
Same. I think they gotta find a new offensive coordinator to plays for him now, since Gruden's gone, because he was the offensive coach. So I think that they're going to be the first week, like Gil said, the first week it's going to be a lot of mistakes happening, and I see Denver's defense capitalizing on it, and I see Denver winning this game.
To a game that, if you would have said at the beginning of the year that this team would be favored over this team on the road, you would have been crazy. But Dallas goes to New England as a favorite to win in New England. And you can't really blame them. Dallas is playing great. New England looks terrible. So doesn't mean anything as far as picks, but Dallas goes to New England, to Foxborough. Jose, what do you got in this one?
I like Dallas. I'm writing Dallas. That was my team to win the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they're playing offensively, oh my God, I don't think no defense is going to stop that team right now. The way Zeke is playing amazing. Amari Cooper is playing amazing. CeeDee Lamb is playing and Dak Prescott. He's not in the MVP conversation, but he should have some nominations. I think he's playing very well. And that defense is very improved. Man, a team that gets rid of Jalen Smith just lets him go like that. And he's like one of the best linebackers in the league. He was a Pro Bowler 2 years ago. And you just let him go like that. That means that they have confidence in their defense. And their defense is playing very well. So I like Dallas in this one.
Yo. Every time I watch Dallas play an AFC team, they struggle. And I'm not saying that New England's better than Dallas. It's just a thing. I don't know. Every time they play an AFC team, it's like they hit a brick wall. I'm gonna go with the surprise on this one. I think New England's gonna pull this one off. But I do agree with Jose. Dallas is on all cylinders right now. This is just stuff from what, like you say, I see in the NFL, and there's always those scores. You look at the score and you scratch your head and you're like, what's wrong? Like, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And these are one of those games. It's just, I don't know if it's the grass. I don't know if they're not in their element. But usually Dallas hits on all cylinders playing NFC teams.
Mm-hmm.
But when they play AFC teams, it's like, or they squeak out a win, or it's like they forgot how to play football. So I'm going to take England.
I completely agree with everything Gil said. I'm going to take Dallas, but I'll tell you this. If there's inclement weather, New England can upset, because Dallas doesn't like to play in bad weather. So if the weather's bad, New England's got a shot. They can play an ugly game and win. But I'm going to take Dallas just because they're playing too well. And I didn't like what I saw to New England against David freaking Mills last week. So I got Dallas in that offense, giving it to New England if the weather's good. To the Sunday nighter, the Seattle Seahawks, led by Geno Smith, go to Pittsburgh to play the equally old and inept Ben Roethlisberger, who got carried by his defense last week. But he threw a couple of nice balls, and that got him the victory. What do you guys got in this one? Start with Jose.
I like Pittsburgh in this one. I think last week they played very well. Seattle has been barely playing good football, and now that they lost their QB, forget about it. So I like Pittsburgh in a blowout in this one.
Yo,
I agree with Jose. Seattle's gonna have no game in this. They can try to run the ball, but like you said last week, Pittsburgh got carried by their defense to win, and I think they'll do that again.
I got Pittsburgh. Geno Smith is not a good quarterback, and T.J. Watt and that crew is gonna have a field day. I got Pittsburgh, maybe even in a shutout. That's how bad it could be. And to the Monday nighter, should be a good one here. The Buffalo Bills, who, I mean, they've had a weak schedule until playing Kansas City in that awful defense, but they're just pumping everybody right now. They're going to Tennessee to play the Titans, who we're not really sure who they are or what they are. But Gil, who do you have in this one?
Well, I have to pick Buffalo. I can't deny what I've been watching. Me and Jose both picked Allen as the MVP of the season, and now he looks like it. But like you said, Tennessee's that weird team. They show up one day, they look like Super Bowl champions, and then the next day they look like they should be in last. So we'll find out what Tennessee teams. But the Bills better be careful with Henry. That's a guy you cannot take lightly.
Yeah, Jose.
The Bills all the way in this one. I think they'll play the running game and force Tannehill to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. And they have good cornerbacks back there and stuff. And so I think Buffalo in a blowout, another blowout again.
So I'm going to lead this into our picks of the week. I'm taking the Bills, and they are also my spread pick of the week. If you recall last year, the Titans had 2 weeks off after a COVID game that got suspended, and they got to play Buffalo on a Tuesday night. And they absolutely destroyed the Bills, like 42 to something. I can't remember exactly what the score was, but they destroyed the Bills. And I expect the Bills to remember that game and absolutely get revenge on Tennessee. So they're also my spread pick of the week over Tennessee this week. Now that we've finished our picks of the week, I'll ask Gil, what's his spread pick of the week?
My spread pick of the week, I'm going to take Detroit Lions plus 3.5.
Should be a close game. Jose?
I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers. I think it's 4.5 right now, or 3.5.
They're 4.5. 4.5.
Yeah, I think Green Bay Packers smashed them.
Wow. Okay. How about survivor picks? Jose, who's your survivor pick?
Indy at home against the Texans.
Gil? Pittsburgh's a good one. I was going to take Indy, you guys. Should I take something else? I've already taken Buffalo. I'm trying to not repeat a team. I'll take... I think I'm going to go with the Rams. I'll take the Rams this week because I don't think I've taken the Rams yet. So I'll take the Rams in New York because they don't have any players. So that's our survivor picks, guys, and our picks for the week. We all got our spread picks and survivor picks right last week. Jose had a great week with 12 wins. Had he split the other 4 teams, he could have won pools. But, we'll see if he does that now that he's got this confidence going right now.
Yeah.
Gil had 11. He was right there with him. But Jose has a nice lead. I only had 9. I tried some upsets. They almost came through. But, and by the way, I've gotten a lot of flack for a little bit off topic, but got a lot of flack about Pittsburgh. Listen, okay, when the team has a Stanley Cup ceremony, they're going to lose 9 times out of 10 because Tampa Bay was sleeping last night. Okay, so Pittsburgh beat them up 6-2. Tampa went in there. They got no Crosby, no Malkin, no Gensel. This is going to be a piece of cake on our ceremony night. Well, guess what? Jose's pick there, Tristan Jarry, played great. And they won the game 6-2, but it was empty netters, guys. They won like 3-1 was the actual score. And then there's all kinds of crazy empty netters at the end. Okay. My problem with Tristan Jarry is not regular season play. He played well last year in the regular season. My problem was how bad he was in the playoffs. I don't doubt that he'll have a good regular season, which is why Jose picked him. And the Leafs are up 2-1 right now, and Gil's Devils haven't started yet, but we'll go through hockey as we go. But listen, my Penguins, they'll be okay. I know I have no confidence in them right now, and they kick Tampa Bay's ass, but it's one game.
I told you they'll be fine.
One game. When teams have a ceremony, they lose. Just ask Gil.
Yeah.
Okay, teams, they have that ceremony and they're sleeping, and especially without their best players. I guarantee you, Tampa went in and said, "This can be a piece of cake tonight. We're just going to take care of them and get out of here." But it didn't happen. So
it wasn't your Penguins that got a beating like 8-0 or whatever, 10-0.
When the Penguins won the cup, the second one. Okay, they played St. Louis at home after the ceremony. It was like an hour ceremony. It was way too long. It went like for an hour. St. Louis just murdered them 8-1 the first game, and then they put the backup in net on a back-to-back, and they got beat 6-1 by Tampa Bay the following night. So trust me, that ceremony game is a setup. You're going to lose almost every time. I don't know too many teams that have won after the ceremony. So
I would have loved to see Malfara's face, that Vasilevsky first rounder.
Yeah, that was not pretty. But Jose's already laughing.
Good luck, Malfara.
Speaking of Malfara, before we go, I told you I was going to do this every time you don't come on, Anthony. So understand, you're going to get called out. Every single time you don't come on the show, you're getting called out. So are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you chicken?
He's scared.
He's scared. He's scared because he's worried. Listen, it's not live. We're taping this. Oh, it gets edited after. Don't be afraid. Come on here and defend your Leafs. Talk about how you're crying about Anderson being in Carolina right now while Jack Campbell's stealing another game for your Leafs against Montreal. All right, I want to hear you cry about it. And you took Ramses Sandin's, got an assist already. Get excited. All right? Come on the show. Don't be afraid. My dad already got mad. He didn't come on the preview last week. He goes, "Oh, you guys didn't tell me. I go, "Don't worry. Jose's representing, okay? He got the Leaf jersey on for this one, okay? We'll have you on later." And anyone else?
Your dad would have wasted the whole time on the show.
That's right.
Too long.
Yeah, he would have talked about the Leafs winning before in the 67 before then. Yes, he does take too long, guys.
It takes 10 hours to make a pick. Imagine him talking about the Leafs.
I mean, it would have been forever. At least Gil, even though he's got past history, he doesn't talk about the 3 cups from 10 years ago. He talks about how the Devils are now. My dad says, though, like, you need to know your stuff better, Gil. You don't even know what the cap is and all this. So he was picking on you. So, Dad, you want to pick on the guys? Come on the show and say it to their face. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Tell them to keep coaching the little leagues. Don't worry about the big boys. The big boys will take care of themselves.
That's right. You hear that? So, Anthony, you got called out. My dad, you got called out. And we're going to call out somebody at the end of every show. You guys don't come on. Okay?
Anthony's a punk-ass bitch.
And the wife's calling you out too.
Punk-ass bitch.
Okay? So, come on the Reese Report. Help the show. Represent the show. Otherwise, you're going to get called out. And Jose's friends, I only got 2 new subscribers, and they weren't soccer people. So, Jose, get on those soccer guys that wanted me to shout them out.
I gave him shit. Yesterday. Don't worry. I had a game yesterday. I gave him shit.
All right.
They know. They know already. They know.
For anyone who is listening to this show or subscribe, thank you very much for your support. Please share and subscribe our video. We love doing this. We want more people to watch. We want more people to share and subscribe. I try to share it as pimp the video as much as possible. I'm going to get Jose and Gil to do it too. Text it to everybody on your phone list so you can listen to us and have a good time. But until the next Reese Report, which will probably be next week or during my wrestling show with Tony Barbosa, which we'll do on Saturday, I'm Andrew Reese. I want to thank Gil and Jose for coming on again. And we will see you on the next Reese Report. Please let me have a good record this week. I'm looking bad. Good night for now.